Week 10, trade lines done. Brees Hall is still a Jet, but the fantasy football world's shaking up. We'll see you tonight. This episode of From the Forum. What's up? What's up, everybody? Joe, you're down below. Dan, Chase, in the house. Man, trade deadline happening. I don't know about y'all, but like most of my leagues, the trade deadline's either this week or it's next week. Moves to be made, leagues to be shook up. Dan, what was the biggest trade deadline thing that left like that where you were like, wow, why did that happen? Or maybe even just something like fantasy impact where you're like, oh, that was a good move. That's going to change something for somebody.
Jacoby Myers, like no one was giving the guy love, but like him going to Jacksonville with BTJ not being great right now, him all being banged up, like that was a hell of a move. Travis Hunter, we don't know if he's going to be back at all this season. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But the point with Trevor Lawrence is that he needs somebody that he can go to when it's 3rd and 10 and he needs a first down. Jacoby, sooner rather than later, is going to be that guy. And we know for fantasy football purposes, this can be a high-end wide receiver 3. So if you had dropped Jacoby, which a lot of teams did, make sure you go ahead and grab him and pick him right back up because this is somebody you're going to want to have in your lineups sooner rather than later.
You know what's crazy about the Jaguars room, and I didn't realize it until I was doing some research this week on Parker Washington because he was a pretty hot waiver wire topic before the trade. The Jaguars are second in pass attempts this season, and they have nothing to show for it really from a fantasy perspective for the wide receivers. Trevor Lawrence has failed to really have any connections with receivers in his entire career. We look at Brian Thomas last year, it was primarily with Mac Jones, but where has he done well? Slot players over the middle. Evan Ingram had a top 5 season at tight end when he was able to stay healthy like one time. So Jacoby Myers, it's not going to be this week, but he will be that slot guy. So he will be the golden zone for the golden boy to make things happen.
Look, I will say this.
Guy.
It's not all Trevor. It is some Trevor, but it's not all Trevor. BTJ has had dishpan hands all freaking season, and it has been a huge letdown. But anyways, before we get too heavy in that, guys, you know this is From the Forum. We're here every Friday night. We're here to answer your questions, so drop them in. Liam, I see you new to the chat. You said, do y'all do trade evals? We do. You can drop them in. Obviously, the chat gets going. We'll try to get to everything as much as we can. If you want your question to get pushed to the top, just drop a super chat and we will prioritize it right off the cuff. If you're over on Twitch or Twitter, we will make sure to get you as well. We are live everywhere and happy to help. Trade deadline. Look at Matthias and said, all hats, going to be a great night. You know it. And then Noah.
You didn't DM us yet. I want you on the show, bro.
Matthias, you got to make an appearance. All right.
My dog.
Noah Connor, 5382. I'm having a hard time deciding. Start Rico Dowdle and Josh Jacobs. Now, Dan, I know you do an injury show on our channel, the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Rico Dowdle's questionable going into the week.
He's not anymore. He's off the questionable list. He's definitively going to play this week. I only have them removed by 2 spots, BT dubs. Like I have Josh Jacobs at 9. I have Rico Dowdle at 11. So my real answer here is 2 top 12 running backs. Play them both. Find a way.
Find a way to get them both in your lineup. Or, Noah, just drop your lineup in. Maybe you are just that deep that you don't need one of them, which would be a great place to be. Congratulations on that. Over on Twitch, Marcus Manny in the chat, starting Pittman or Monangai. I have London playing same game. Now, Dan, I would have turned this one to you because I know you've been on Monangai all season. Finally starting to see him get some work. Is it enough to supplant Pittman in your lineup?
Yeah. Here's the first factor. DeAndre Swift didn't practice today on Friday. That was the big key to this whole thing because he was expected to play. And then even before the practice report came out, right, Ben Johnson talked about how this is going to be a hot hand. So he's already kind of wavering as far as who's going to be the starting running back going into any kind of given week. If Swift is out, Monangai is a must play over Pittman, 100%. Pittman's been so good, I don't want to take anything away from him. If Swift is in, and being that we have to play the hot hand, I probably would just play Pittman for that safer floor and let this thing play out a week. See who has that hot hand, because whoever has that hot hand is going to be a starter in week 11. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Give me the fun guy all day, though. You know what? Like, Atlanta is a solid matchup against those outside receivers. Monangai crushed it last week. They have a great matchup against the Giants. In the last 3 weeks, the Giants have given up 37.3 fantasy points per game, 2 running backs in full PPR, which is the most in the league. Granted, they did have to play Saquon Barkley. They did have to play Christian McCaffrey. They did have to play Denver, which has like no quarterback, except for in the fourth quarter sometimes if you flip a coin. So not the most telling of the performance, but it's a great matchup for them. I think they're going to be fine either way.
Other factor there is the Europe game. I mean, I'm always weird about playing dudes in Europe games if I don't have to. It's just it's such a weird, like, it throws off your whole freaking mojo unless you get to camp out over there like the Vikings did for half a month.
What's the matter, Chase? Coffee and football doesn't go together for you?
No tea.
I don't want to have my ass awake at that time of day.
You would never make it on the West Coast. That's every week, my guy.
No,
First of all,
I know
it's Germany. There's no tea. It's just beer and go. Like it's just, you should wake up. Yeah.
No,
Get
but
a little schnitzel
you know what I
and
mean,
you're
though?
ready.
Like they're in Europe. Their whole mojo's been thrown off all week. Their schedules are different and everything else. And like you just said, Dan, with Swift not practicing and being highly questionable for the week, even if he does play, Monangai. I was not a Monangai guy coming into this season, but he has found himself a niche and a role there, and he actually saw some targets last game. We all kind of figured that if they do both play, we all kind of figured that Swift will be the Jahmyr Gibbs of the Ben Johnson duo, and Monangai would be the Montgomery. But he have 5 targets, I think, last week too as well. So I mean, they will actually throw him the ball occasionally as well, even if Swift does play. So yeah, I'm going with Monangai on this.
7th round running back out of Rutgers. You can't go wrong.
Who would have thought that a Scarlet Knight would have fantasy football relevancy ever?
Oh, I don't know.
Disrespectful.
Dan.
Their moms.
All right. GB Chris in the chat. In one dynasty, there was a trade where someone traded Matt Stafford for a 2nd round pick. Who won? Hopefully it was Superflex. Otherwise,
It had to be.
Yeah, it had to be.
Unless you're like, you had to be really down at quarterback. Like you're like running like, Justin Fields flopped, Kyler Murray's on IR because he's pouting again. Just you needed somebody desperately to have a starter, and somebody fleeced you. That's the only way that happens. Oh, he did say it was super flex. So yeah, I mean, sure, that's fine. Especially if it's a deeper league. Like I've got a 16 teamer that trade would have happened.
Oh man, the QB2s in that league have to be insane.
Yeah.
Well, and we
Davis
are talking
Mills
about,
is starting.
we are talking about trading an aging quarterback. Yes, it's super flex, and Stafford is still a good viable player. But you're talking about trading an aging quarterback for a 2nd round draft pick that hasn't been made yet. Asking who won the trade 13 minutes after it went down in something like that. Yeah, I mean,
give me Stafford.
But if you're trading Stafford, you obviously didn't need him.
The question about who won
in a super flex rookie draft, like, right, you're not getting a top tier quarterback in the 2nd round.
Jackson Dart went in the 2nd round in a lot of drafts this year.
No, he didn't, and not in a super flex.
Yes, he did.
But look at the other quarterbacks that guy has on his team. Oh, we don't freaking know. So why would we freaking talk about asking about a winner of a trade like that? Like right now, there's no way to know. There's no way. If Stafford blows his knee out tomorrow or steps off the curb wrong, and this guy takes the next,
he'll still play, and he'll throw a touchdown to win the game with the bum knee.
He's a tough son of a gun, and I love him for it. But just asking about a winner right now, there's no way to know.
No. two things. First of all, if you have Jackson Dart, sell freaking high right now because this guy is Daniel Jones 2.0 and not in a good way. He's not turning Indiana. This is the giant version of Daniel Jones.
Daniel
haven't
Jones would
learned your
never
lesson.
willingly get concussions.
We talked about
Dan's about to bring out the pitchforks. They're coming. They're gonna come for him. You dash Jackson Dart on this show. They're gonna come for you.
Tyler.
Bashing Daniel Jones.
I already had the pitchforks out after me when I bashed Bo Nix, and look how good that's turning out. Because exactly, you have a talented quarterback or not. You are not a talented quarterback. Sorry, Jackson Dart falls into that category. So you have him sell high. And then the second thing, Matthew Stafford's like Joe Flacco. He can throw until he's 45 freaking years old. I don't know if he'll actually play that long, but to say that this is his last year for a second-round pick, I don't think it is.
I didn't say it was his last year. I said he's an aging quarterback.
My point being is that if you get a second-round pick for Matthew Stafford, if Stafford plays 2 years, that already paid off.
Oh, yeah. From
Didn't
that
he have to
standpoint, if
get
you're
an
the guy getting him,
epidural
yeah.
at the- before
I'm
the
in.
season started to play?
It hasn't affected him at all. Yeah, it hasn't.
I might have to try it out.
Right? I'll take one. Is that the bum? I'll do
I
it.
guess just depending on the league, depending on the rest of my roster, I'm not overly like thrilled or sad on either side of this trade because we don't have enough. There's not enough context to know. You
Look,
could say
let
in
me
a
tell you
vacuum
something
you
real
don't
quick,
think
Chase.
Stafford should have gotten a second or whatever, but
Chase, I got to give you a little preface for the show because these questions are going to come.
I know.
It keeps building as we go. You're
I know.
not going to get context. You got to take it like surface level. This is super flex. You don't know the rosters. You don't know who they have. The fact is Matthew Stafford in a super flex league? We don't even know how deep it is. If it's an 8-teamer, then you're probably not going to do that deal. But you just kind of have to take it and roll with it and give as much of a answer as you can because we're not going to get full context.
no, I know.
Yeah.
I write 1/3 of the Overreaction Monday article every week, so I'm used to
Which is a
jumping off the
great
deep
article,
end
by
on
the way. You
stuff.
guys
I'm
have
just-
been crushing that. It's been fun.
All right, so look at freaking Matthiasen. I wish I could play Dynasty. No one wants to agree to my rules. I can't imagine. Matthiasen is here every week. I cannot imagine what those rules look like.
If you wear a hat, you get a +5 advantage for your
All
score.
right. So back to Noah's question earlier. He said it was Dowdle or Josh Jacobs. He said he drafted Achane and James Cook or traded for James Cook. So he's looking for one of those guys in his flex spot.
Who the hell else do you have that those are flexes?
Is this a 6-team league? What?
You only play one running back?
Hey,
Hey,
respect the
maybe he made
hustle.
some good trades. Dennis Clemens in the chat. Hey, fellas. Hey, Dennis. Thanks for tuning in. Liam asked. He was the one that asked if we do trade evals. Let's see. He dropped a trade in. I might have missed it.
I offered Emeka Egbuka in London for Amon-Ra since I have Devontae Smith and Breece Hall on the bench. Or I was offered Emeka in London for Amon-Ra. Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Egbuka in London. You're getting Egbuka in London for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You're
He has a Mecca Ibuka already.
Well, I think he did the trade. He's asking if he made a good decision by trading away
Okay,
Amon-Ra for Egbuka in
yeah.
London.
Yeah, so like you get 2 top 12 wide receivers for the price of okay, you want to make the argument top 3? Fine. But yeah, I'll take the 2 top 12.
Dude, and London's on a heater. Like if London keeps doing what he's doing, it's fine. Like
I'm mad at London.
Plus, you've got Rice.
you just got
You've
you just got a bonus in Egbuka.
You just picked. Well, but you already have Rice, and you literally just picked him up off of injury, who could take Amon-Ra's spot in terms of their ranking for the rest of the season. So no, you're fine with that trade.
I literally just talked about this because I just recorded the best bets for Week 10 show, which will come out Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Make sure you go to Fantasy Football Advice Network on YouTube at FF Advice Net to go check that out. But I just talked about how Michael Penix is about to go YOLO. Like, I think he's done with the offensive play coordinator in Zach Robinson. Like, he's done with him. He's like, listen, you suck. You're getting nobody open. I'm just going to throw the ball to freaking Drake London. That's exactly what he did against the Patriots. I think he's
As he should.
Right.
This is my
Lefty.
Tyler, I appreciate you doing the lefty
Gotta be
too.
lefty.
I know that Penix wind up like,
Hey,
but it's gonna get out there.
That's an old man wind up. 'Cause he's like 97 years old.
We're
He'll make it
16
happen.
minutes into the show, and it's already way too weird. I got to get out of here.
All right. Marcus Monet said, would you drop BTJ for Myers? I have Saquon, Jacobs, London, JSN, Pittman, Tet, Franklin, Higgins, and Kittle and Gadsden. One, this team is dumb.
In a good way. That is a good dump. That's a good
Two,
dump.
I don't think you have to drop anybody. Neither BTJ nor Myers is probably going to touch your lineup. Like, I'm not starting either one over JSN in London.
And Pittman.
Probably not Pittman or Higgins on the hot streak that they're on right now to roll with Jacksonville, especially Jacksonville takes on Houston this week. Hard pass.
Actually, the way Franklin's been performing lately, heck, they're both behind Franklin at this moment.
Franklin's out targeting Sutton right now, pretty consistently.
Yeah,
he's the new number one or the new number one of the month.
Team, I think your worst wide receiver is Tyrone McMillan. And that's due to his quarterback play.
It's a great team. I hope you win a championship. You got a good shot, brother.
Yeah, the only thing you need to drop is you got to drop it low on your enemies over here and just brag all the time.
Kittle and Gadsden, yeah. Wow.
But you know what? If you have Kittle, Gadsden, you have all these good receivers on your bench. Take one of those receivers, take Gadsden, and go get yourself a stud running back on top of what you already had because it seems like you have no running back depth. So it's like sacrifice a little bit that wide receiver depth and just get another backup.
Who's throwing the ball to all these guys on your fantasy team? Because I don't see a quarterback listed. That might be the one place you could package some dudes up and go get a difference maker.
Probably because if he puts his quarterback in there, if we're all going to scream baloney.
Everything collapses. Yeah.
That quarterback could literally be
AJ McCarthy.
Dylan Gabriel when he's still winning weeks.
He said it's Jackson Dart. Let's go. All right. Got to keep it moving. Hey, by the way, guys, again, appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. If you're over on to the channel, we just started growing that one, and keep the questions coming. Let thumbs up in the chat if you're enjoying the show. All right, we got Kazin 671 in the chat. Trade McBride for London and Kittle. Or Goddard. So you get London Kittle probably there. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean or Goddard? Don't ever say that.
Yeah, no.
My wide receivers are CD, Waddle, DK, Tet. Full PPR, no tight end premium or super flex. Start 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. I'm definitely down for the upgrade at wide receiver and getting London. I feel like the jump from Waddle, DK, or Tet to London is big enough to compensate for the drop from McBride to Kittle. Would you agree?
Yes, I'm the biggest Trey McBride guy in the industry, and I'm still okay with this.
Where are these leagues? Is what. Yeah, I don't know why this is a question. So eventually Brock Purdy comes back. When Brock Purdy comes back, George Kittle goes back to being a top 3 tight end, plus you get Drake London. Case closed.
And don't ever put Goddard in the same sentence as George Kittle. That hurts my heart.
Or Kittle or Goddard. I mean,
Goddard's
feeling generous.
Get out of here.
They did finally realize that they can throw to Goddard outside of between the 20s. Like he has more red zone targets this year than I think he's had in his whole career.
So
he's probably missed less time so far.
He said down in the chat, he said that let me go down. He said Waddle's been averaging 16.6 per game since Hill is out. Hey, that's good. Let's go through London's last 4 games, right? PPR. 26 points, 32 points. He had a stinker there. He did an 8-point game, but he followed it up.
I put him as wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he followed it up with a 40-pointer. So average of 16.6 is a huge drop from somebody essentially averaging over 30 points since week 4. And that's where the upgrade is, right? Like, plus Miami doesn't even know what the heck they're doing. I would definitely take London there. Obviously, McBride's a loss, but even McBride, like freaking the Arizona, it's the Jacoby Brissett show, and McBride's fine, but I don't think that's
more than fun. Brissett is good for that offense.
You got Harrison, like average 100 yards per carry.
Plus, they're going to be getting Benson back in a little bit. That offense is so much better off right now.
It was so hard for Gannon to not be like, I'm starting this guy. Like, our team is playing so much. They're like, do you want to start him no matter what the injury is? And he's like, I don't want to get into hypotheticals.
I'm not going to say that, but yes.
This is this tattoo that's on my sleeve. What do you tell me what you think?
What an absolute contrast between your starter in Kyler Murray, who would rather take time off to play video games than watch, film or do anything else that starter quarterbacks do.
Who wouldn't?
And Jacoby Brissett, who is the most professional backup quarterback in the league right now. What a contrast between the two of them. If Kyler can't learn from Jacoby Brissett and the way he does things, yeah, you were right to give up on him, and let's be done with it.
Trade him to the Pirates.
The Jacoby Brissett is the next Fitzmagic. No, I'm just kidding.
He's
got
not far off
Vivi
already.
Machito in the chat. What's good? Appreciate you tuning in. Albert in the chat. What's up? Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, look, Kazan. Look, I know McBride is a drop to Kittle. I don't think that Kittle's current state is going to be what it's going to be in the fantasy playoffs. But look. I will say this. We all have our perspectives. If you're watching the show, you know this. We have our perspectives. I've got a bunch of people that lead in, Dan, like you guys lead in rankings, fantasy pros, do great job at following these players. But if your gut, right, like if you as a player are saying you don't agree or you want to keep what you got, just keep what you got. That way you don't blame us when you lose. Just do what you want to do. We'll give you our perspective. If we were right, we were right. If you were right, then good on you.
It's always your team. It's always your team. I told my best buddy was asking me today, do I start this guy or do I start, a receiver off of my favorite team? I was like, you want to start your dude from your team. It's not the worst week to do it, but I'm going to tell you to go with the other guy. So,
but it is nice to have a fantasy analyst that you can blame for mistakes. It's awesome.
Yep. His name's Joe Frick at Joe FRK on Twitter.
Joe FRK on Twitter. Light them up. No, all right. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. I missed one. Let me go back up. Michael in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in. Traded Brees and Godwin for Henry. Win or lose in the chat.
Hunter Henry?
No,
that was a joke. I understand that much.
He has a juicy schedule coming up, and Brees is now in part of the most dysfunctional team in the league.
And a team he doesn't.
But he does have a go-kart.
He does have a go-kart.
Did you see that today?
Makes up for everything. Totally makes up for everything.
I forgot about my go-karts per points per go-kart league. So yeah, I got to reevaluate here.
Is it about to turn December? Derrick Henry's going to be good. As simple as it comes down to it, ultimately at the end of the day, the guy just gets going as the season turns out. Lamar Jackson is back. The rushing game will be more efficient. And Brees Hall doesn't want to be on the Jets. The only reason he's even going to have motivation to play is because he's playing for a contract year. And if that goes by the wayside, like if Brees Hall picks up any injury, he's not going to play. He's going to sit out the rest of the season. So yeah, big W.
Yeah, let's see here. Keep rolling. Kaizen back up to talking about McBride. Look, everybody's going to be better with Brissett. Everybody's going to be better than with Brissett. Like Murray would rather run than throw. Murray's a long story. I did see a tweet. I mentioned it earlier. Come out that the Oakland A's still have priority to his draft, like his baseball draft.
He has his rights. Yeah, they have their rights.
They have the rights. So, he could play baseball. And I mean, what's the average age of somebody actually coming out in baseball? It's like 25. He's 27. So it could still.
Drew Henson, this thing. Go for it, buddy.
The dream is alive.
Yeah, I'm sure that the football world
He's so paid.
would be better if he plays somewhere else.
He's
COD coming out.
By the way, I'm marking it right now. He is going to be a New York Jet next year. Just so everybody knows, putting the prediction out here right now for him.
Wouldn't that be that would be a New York Jet thing to do. The better thing to do though, or the thing that would really make sense would be if the Browns brought him to Cleveland after drafting 2 quarterbacks. That would be a really
out there in the universe. You son of a.
All right, keep moving. Kittle has been rough without Purdy. Purdy is going to make it back.
Been hurt 90% of the season.
Yeah,
Give the guy a break.
Thank you. Can I have a timeout on Kittle for like a split second here? We're talking about a guy in week 1 who scored a touchdown. 2 weeks ago scored a touchdown. And he just came back from a hamstring injury. Like, what are we talking about? He's been on your IR spot for most of the season. Like, cool it a little bit, especially this week against the Rams with the 49ers. All they do is attack the linebackers of the Rams every single time they play. Like, Kittle's going to have a good week this week. He's in my top 5 of tight ends. Like, let's relax a little.
Yeah, Kittle's going to be fine. Kittle is going to be fine. We'll leave it at that. Vivo Mochito over on Twitch. I have Lamb on bye this week. I have Keenan Allen and Alec Pierce. Who does better week 10? Chase, let us have it. Allen or Pierce?
I know I just talked about not playing dudes in Europe, but I'm going with Pierce in this one because I think that it's a McConkey type game. I think it's a McConkey type game. I talked about this on our show, and I like the idea of Alec Pierce, getting that vote of confidence this week when they traded away Adonai Mitchell. 13 targets last week. I don't think he sees 13 this week, but I think he sees enough. I'm going to go with Alec Pierce over Keenan Allen on this one.
Any disagreements? I will say this: Alec Pierce is like averaging.
Alec Pierce is going to get a bag this offseason. People are like, oh, who's this random white dude? Don't let that white boy get a groove because he is out there grinding. His route running is greatly improved this season. He used to just be like the downfield threat, and like that boy's in his bag right now.
He's going to add McCaffrey all over the place.
They're allowing him to run routes. I think that's the key.
The crazy thing is, you said, he's running routes now. His average depth of target is over 20 yards the last 4 games. Like when he gets a catch, if you're in PPR, it's like an automatic 3 points. Like every catch is an automatic 3 points. So, how many do you need to be relevant? Now Keenan Allen has a shot at the end zone more than Pierce does, in my opinion. Pierce has yet to get in the end zone this season.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get that. That's variance, though. For me, it's hard to have a strong take. I literally have Keenan Allen 29 and Alec Pierce 30. Like, it's right there, neck and neck. Like, it's brutal either way. Pittsburgh's been so bad against outside wide receivers so far this season, and Atlanta's a little bit better. We talked about, Pittman, right? I don't think Pittman has the tough matchup. It's Pierce who's actually going to have the tough matchup. They're good against X wide receivers, not Z wide receivers, and that's kind of what the rotation has been with the two of them. But still, I have him as a mid-level wide receiver 3.
Allen's targets have fallen off the last couple of weeks. He's only seen 5 targets in each of the last 2 weeks there. I mean, he's still Keenan Allen, and we know that Justin Herbert still loves him like a brother. But, I mean, I'm going to take the shot with Pierce because I think they will take shots with Pierce over across the pond.
Yeah, it is interesting if you look at like the different coverages that if you look at the fantasy points per route run amongst the Indianapolis wide receivers, Tyler Warren actually leads the Colts for fantasy points per route run amongst cover 3. Cover 3 is deployed by Atlanta 53% of the time. Alec Pierce, number 2 amongst the team. Michael Pittman, actually the lowest beneficiary. We've been talking about that heater that he's been on. That being said, I hate saying this as a Pittsburgh fan, but the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is, we're going to probably try to get a turnover, and we're going to let you do whatever you want until we get that turnover or you score. So I think that there's going to be a lot of yards, receptions, plays to give. They are a zone team, which that rolls out QJ. I also think, Chase, that it's going to be a lad game, but I do think there's going to be a lot of room for Keenan as well. So I think the floor play, obviously Keenan, that's where I would lie because I'm risk averse, but I do see the upside in Alec Pierce.
I do want to put this out there with Alec Pierce. He is going to see AJ Terrell the most. And I know AJ Terrell hasn't been as stout as we're used to seeing this season, but it's still the cornerback that I would rather avoid when it comes to Atlanta than everybody else, and D. Alford and everybody else.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, keeping it moving. Matthias and Trey McBride for London and something else. This is referring to the trade earlier, or I guess or something else.
Yeah, that is related to the trade because he's saying it doesn't matter who's on the other side of that. He's basically saying I would do London for McBride 1-for-1 because you have Gadsden, Ball, so you have Gadsden. So like, who cares? Like getting Kittle is a bonus.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's a good take, Matthias. All right, Michael Regine, thinking of stashing Tank My running backs are Kyron, Dowdle, Chase Brown, Woody, Davis, Corum, Algier. Wide receivers, Igbuka, Pickens, Parker, Washington, Franklin. Tight end, Mason Taylor, Loveland. Quarterback, Caleb. I don't know why I would stash Tank. I feel like this like we need
You need receivers, my guy.
you need receivers.
Yeah, I don't think Tank does anything for you.
Yeah, I would be
Even
more
if Saquon goes down.
I'd be more interested in trying to take one of these guys that has some hype in the moment, like a Davis or maybe not Corum, but like somebody like that, and trying to dish them for even a mid-tier wide receiver. That's me, but
hold on. Here's what I would say to this. First of all, we don't know exactly what's available on this waiver wire. It's much easier to stash a handcuff running back and have that hit than a wide receiver that you're taking a shot on who's really wide receiver 42, because it's not just a simple injury away. So it does depend on what he has available to him. But like, okay, Pickens is on bye this week, but otherwise he has 3 strong wide receivers.
Yes.
You're looking for a flex, maybe ideally, and I can't really tell if it's a 3 wide receiver league or a 2 wide receiver league with a flex or anything like that. But ideally, you're looking for one more flex dominant guy. If Saquon Barkley goes out, we know Tank Bigsby's the dude. And we know behind that offensive line what Tank Bigsby can do. So I'm okay with the stash.
It's just, I think the problem that I have with it is there's so many running back stashes on that roster already.
He's already got Algier. He's already got Corum to back his own guy up. Yep.
I would drop
Corum probably.
No, I wouldn't drop Corum.
He's got Kyron Williams, though. He wants to keep Corum because he's got Williams.
Yeah, I would drop Algier. That's who I would drop.
Ooh.
Algier doesn't have the explosive ability. So he's a guy who's just like, even if he gets the workload, he's going to fall forward behind a porous offensive line who doesn't get the receptions that Bijan Robinson gets. Corum, you already have Kyron Williams. That's more of an impact there. Isaiah Davis gets those catches and stuff like that. So, and Tank Bigsby would be the bell cow. So for me, it's Algier that I'm dropping.
that's tough. I mean, I think that I don't know. It's tough for me. I think that Algier has so much upside if Bijan goes down.
I think it's actually, you know what? I retract my statement. Let's just delete it from the show. You drop Davis. The Jets suck.
Yes. They're not going to, if they were going to give Isaiah Davis a look, Breece Hall wouldn't still be on this roster.
Nah, I don't think that's true. I think they wanted. No. At some point, there does become the idea that you have to field a team that has a chance to win. If you trade away Breece Hall and all you have
Cleveland, baby.
But no,
from a guy who knows, a guy who lives
that's
there.
actually not true, because in Cleveland they still sign Myles Garrett for no reason. So like even they try to make sure they have somewhere on that team that does play out. So at some point you have to have some kind of firepower somewhere. That's why they didn't trade Breece Hall. Plus
they were trying to stave off a full-blown riot in Cleveland.
Chase, you were on the show with Adam this past week. I think Adam was 100% correct. I think the Jets are going to transition tag Breece Hall 1,000%. I think Breece Hall is going to be a Jet for another season.
That's
it's going to suck, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Dumb.
Everybody's upset. All right, July 12th in the chat. I don't know what that date is. Hopefully it was a great date for you. Trade away Bijan and Emeka for CeeDee and Javonte. Nope. The answer to this for me is a hard no, and I like CeeDee Lamb. This is a hard no.
They're on the same team. They can't. They aren't necessarily both going to go off on the same week. If one has a great week, it probably means the other one isn't necessarily having a great week. Huh? CeeDee and Javonte?
Oh, okay. I thought never mind.
CeeDee Lamb. If you're getting CeeDee Lamb and Javonte Williams back, chances are, if your running back is having a great game, it doesn't necessarily mean that your receiver is, and vice versa. Game theory wise, Bijan and Emeka can both go off any given week, and you're golden.
Let me tell you what's happening here. This guy July is a Cowboys fan, and somebody is trying to play at his Cowboys fandom, and they're like, I do this to my brother. My brother's a Giants fan. I'm like, hey dude, You lost your running back. Look, I'll give you
Take Wandale.
Singletary and Jalen Hyatt. Just give me a second round pick. You know what I mean? Like I'm just
Yeah.
sending them people with the NY logo. You know,
Jalen Hyatt. That's what you had to get. Not even Darius Slayton. Jalen Hyatt. Yeah, that's where we go with that one.
and so this is what's happening. No, you keep Bijan and Mecca, especially because these guys are young, and Mecca has his entire future in football ahead of him. See, like there's no way. And then Bijan, like this is easy for me, even though I do like CeeDee Lamb a lot. It's easy. All right, try hard 0012 in the chat. Should I trade Pickens, another Cowboy, for Higgins? I imagine he's talking about T. T's been on a hot streak.
Oh, well.
Pickens is, currently wide receiver 5 or 3 in fantasy right now. Really, I think the question, here's the curious thing. Pickens is not contracted beyond this year. He's a Cowboy for this season unless they decide they want to pay him, which the Cowboys don't love to do. But, so you're really I guess we don't know.
Pickens is wide receiver 5, by the way.
Say what?
Pickens is wide receiver 5, by the way.
5, yeah. He was 3, I think, last week, but 5. So, but Higgins has been on a freaking burner since Flacco has got the quarterback. I mean, I guess we can go at the two ways, redraft and dynasty, because I think that they both lean differently. But, where are you at, Chase, on this?
Well, Pickens for Higgins. I mean, yeah, Pickens has been the one that's performed better this season so far. So if it's a redraft, it's kind of a horse apiece on it. I'm never a big fan in redraft of these in-season trades of two guys at the same position. It's not like you're going to get a better change of scenery just by trading them to your team. The guy is still on the same team. Both guys are still on the same team they've been on all season. So I'm not a big fan of trading a wide receiver for a wide receiver, just, hoping for better. Are you really guaranteed to get better from Higgins than you are from Pickens for the rest of this season? I think it's a pointless trade. I wouldn't do it. If it's dynasty, now there's a big conversation to have that I'm not sure we have enough time for in the next, 3 days.
I don't even think that matters. I mean, tomato, potato. Like you're looking at the same guys either way. They're both big play opportunity guys. If you have an offense going, great, awesome. I would maybe lean Pickens this season only because he has the better quarterback. The Joe Flacco match, it could run out at any given moment. That's definitely a risk that you're running. But so if you really want to tiebreaker it, fine. Dallas has the 12th easiest schedule for wide receivers, while Cincinnati has the 21st. Like there would be your tiebreaker for this.
Here's the thing for me. George Pickens has had one game sub 10 points. T. Higgins, even with Joe Burrow before he got hurt, 1, 2, 3. He's had 3 games with 11. So it's like, I talked about this in the offseason. T. Higgins is boom or bust. He's very inconsistent. I want the guy that's going to be consistent. I want the guy that's attached to an even worse defense than the Bengals. I want the guy that's in the dome in December. Give me Pickens. There's no way I'm trading. You don't want to do this recency bias because T. Higgins just went off for 33 points. It's not worth it.
No, and that's fair. But the last 3 games, a half-point PPR anyway, which is, I stuck on that because of Fantasy Pros rankings, and that's what I do. I mean, you're talking about 10, 11.
I'm in there too, baby. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I got you, Joe. So 10, 11, 10. It's fine. That's fine, but it's nothing special. He's not going to stay in the top 12 wide receivers averaging that kind of points, and that's kind of what he's been ever since CeeDee Lamb has returned. I mean, we have data that shows that outside of this season, T. Higgins has actually been the number 1 target over Jamar Chase when they both been on the field.
But last year, T. Higgins was only a wide receiver 1 in 4 games, which was a career high for him. So he has always been a very high variance player. When I'm going into the playoffs, I've said this. I'm a whore for high floors. I don't want that opportunity for a 3-point dud that's going to knock me out of the playoffs. I'd rather have the 10 than the 6.
Well, and Pickens, the last 3 weeks for Pickens, he hasn't been in the end zone. If he finds the end zone one of those weeks, then that your argument.
And I think that Pickens has the same upside without the he has a higher floor with equal upside, in my opinion.
The point about it, the point that you can make with the whole thing is that, yeah, Higgins is a much more volatile player. He's going to be a much less consistent in terms of up and down, where it looks like Pickens has found himself some kind of an equilibrium there in Dallas. So do you want the big shot upside or do you want the floor?
I mean, look, for this season, Joe, to your point, come playoffs, Dallas has the number 2 easiest schedule.
Yes.
Cincinnati has 13th. So if you just want to base off of that, go for it.
And Dallas is likely to be trying to fight for a spot. So I mean, like
Cincinnati looks out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they look, but I mean, this is
odds. Let's be clear.
This is the weirdest. Look, I said this. I was talking to somebody else the other day. This is one of the weirdest seasons. Like, we're not talking about undefeateds. We're talking about people like surviving with one loss. Like, there's like the teams across the league. It feels like it's anybody's show. Like we were counting Cincinnati out, right? We were counting Cincinnati out. Browns trade Joe Flacco. And then all of a sudden, they're second in the division right now? Like it.
Yeah. I mean, the Ravens, they're not going to be held down for long.
But what I'm saying is, like, that's where the league is. The league is Cincinnati was at the bare bottom, and then they're second in the division in the AFC North. Like,
okay, well, they're third. By the way, the Ravens are already in front of them at 3-5 because the Bengals are 3-6. So let's.
Okay. So last week they were second, but sure. Even like last week, look at that freaking game. Like that game with the Bears was nuts.
That was nuts.
You know, like it was. They did lose, but the game was nuts. It was a great game. You know, it's the like this season is crazy. So even though we're hitting week 10, there's still, you know, you got 7 more weeks. Who knows what can happen? And really, you know, if they get going, who's to say they can't?
I do.
I'll say they can too.
That's fine.
It's me.
We'll take it.
Me for one.
Whatever. All right. So just a follow up. League is full PPR, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Oh, this is to great analysis. This was on the stash question. The stash question.
Michael Regina, what was your question?
No, we got it. All right. Keep moving.
You've lost the plot, dude.
He said my plan was getting Kittle and Goddard in the deal and flipping Goddard.
Oh, you could get both?
No, that's Kaiser, dude.
Dude, that would be a great deal. Great deal.
Yeah, that was
Especially
the Kittle London deal for McBride.
Especially because you still have Gaston. All right, Matthias, and giving us a little bit of context to his crazy league that nobody will let him run. One league allows 20 ads. One team doesn't have a starting kicker. I could add drop remaining kickers and make them unattainable until waivers clear on the 12th. Oh, okay. No, this is a different league. All right, so this is his league. One league allows 20 ads. One team doesn't have a starting kicker. I could add drop all remaining kickers to make them unattainable.
Per week?
You got to calm down.
I think it's 20
You're
ad,
overthinking
you
things,
get
dude.
20 ad drops in the season.
I'm good. I'm not spending my ad drops for a kicker to like keep a person from getting a kicker unless it's like
the only way that you
cost
should
somebody
do it,
8 points for 1 week. Like
no. The only way that you do it is if it's the week before the playoffs, and that gets you into the playoffs.
And it's the dude that you're facing or whatever. Yeah, like or
Right.
the dude you got to beat to get in the. Yeah, no. You don't
Not right now.
overthink it.
all right, Marky219 over on Twitch. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that sub button as we grow our Twitch channel. If any of you watching the show are on Twitch, go over there and hit us up.
I want to know. There was somebody that posted like an emoji of like a person's. It was Vivi Mochito. It's like some dude's face. Like, how do you get that emoji on your phone? Like, that's incredible.
I think it's a Twitch thing. Anyways, so who to start between Tyrone Tracy, Travion Henderson, Bam Knight, Woody Marks, Stephon Diggs, Quentin Johnston, or DJ Moore for 1 running back spot, 1 wide receiver spot, 1 flex spot, and a PPR. So we get 3 starts, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and a flex. Who we going here, Joe?
Okay, let's just kind of like work through this nice and slow. All right,
Let's
so
workshop it.
Bam Knight, Tyrone Tracy. I don't see a world where I can play them. Tyrone Tracy was the hot waiver wire pickup a couple weeks ago. And then they're like, oh, yeah, remember that time that we gave Devin Singletary some money? Maybe we should play him. All right, cool. Bam Knight, if there is a lot of confusing things in my life right now, the Arizona Cardinals running back room may be the top of the list. I have no confidence in anybody in that room right now. DeMarcado basically lost them a game by dropping a fumble at the 1-yard line. They didn't play him. They cut Michael Carter. They bring Michael Carter back. They're like, you're getting first team reps now. And then DeMarcado got all of the carries last week. So it's like, I want nothing to do with that. So running back spot, it's really down to Henderson, Woody Marks. We've already seen that Ramondre's probably not going to play. So I know that there was the touchdown from the random dude off the street in Jennings, but I'm still going to go Henderson for the running back. So let me just start there.
This is how I feel when I think about freaking Travion Henderson. Like, it's like it is absolutely it is a Mike Vrabel thing to do.
But
Mike
it's his job Sunday.
to drive us crazy.
You've lived this life, Tyler. You know about this. You're not new to this. You're true to this. You saw this with Derrick Henry.
All of our hair out. Like, it's just like play the kid. The kid.
This gives me more confidence. This actually gives me more confidence in Travion Henderson because we've seen Mike Vrabel do this, and look at how Derrick Henry's turned out. Like, Henderson is an immediate buy. Like, if Mike Vrabel hates you, that is a good thing.
Oh, 100%. Let me tell you, in all my dynasty leagues, I have made trades for Travion Henderson, and I have succeeded in making
trade me on Henderson.
Yes. I have made trades for him. I have gotten him because he is such a buy low. He went from having a stellar preseason to like a 4th-round pick in redraft, which was absolutely crazy. And then now you can get him for hardly anything. I think in one league I traded now a trade calculator would say they win this, but I traded J.K. Dobbins and Ricky Pearsall. For Travion.
Does Travion Henderson have Arkansas roots, or what is going on?
No.
Like, you love him that bad?
And just real quick, because I didn't even acknowledge.
Now I'm loaded at wide receiver in that league, so Pearsall never would touch my lineup.
Just because I didn't acknowledge Woody Marks. Woody Marks is going up against Jacksonville. They are one of the toughest running back matchups in the league.
Yes.
15.2 points per game. You got Davis Mills starting this week, so I just have no confidence in that. So give me Henderson with the Drake May led New England Patriots. That's my running back pick, and I'll let y'all do that.
Who's the wide receiver, Dan?
Stephon Diggs.
So we're going Patriots here. We're going Travion. We're going Diggs. Chase, who you putting in the flex?
I already told. I don't think it's a Quentin Johnston game in the LA game. I don't like going with DJ Moore in anything. But I agree with Joe's points versus all the other running backs. Tyrone Tracy, we don't even know that he's the guy there. Bam Knight, no one knows who the guy is down there. Woody Marks, I don't want any part of.
You also got Tez Johnson in the mix. It was a late ad, but you got Tez Johnson.
Oh, okay, well,
no, that's Tex Johnson, who's even better than Tez.
He said
Tex Johnson. You remember from the longest yard? Yeah. No, if Tez Johnson's in the mix,
he said he could also pick up Devin Singletary.
No, we don't want nothing to do with the Giants.
We don't.
Actually, I mean, I'm not opposed to picking up Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
If you want to,
no, I'm not opposed to that. Devin Singletary was actually going to leave Tyrone Tracy. Like, against Chicago, he is in my top 28 this week.
But if you're playing, like we just said, if you're playing both of those Patriots and you want to come back against them with Tez Johnson, okay, yeah. Bank on a shootout, go for it, I guess. But yeah, I'm not thrilled about any of those choices outside of Travion Henderson, and that sucks when Travion Henderson is your sure thing for the week.
Look, DJ Moore's coming off 2 games, double digits. Last week he had 25 points. He goes against the Giants this week. Is it possible? Like, going like for a flex, like, can we roll with DJ Moore?
You can. It's not forbidden. I'm not crazy about it.
Here's the problem DJ Moore has, and it's a stupid problem. It really is. Luther Burden being back actually screws him. Now, Luther Burden, let's be clear here, plays 12 snaps. All right, he's not having a big usage load in his own right, but he plays just enough in the right position where DJ Moore gets left out in this role And I don't know where this role came from because Ben Johnson never had this role, but this role of like bubble screens and 5-yard slants. And that's all DJ Moore's allowed to run.
Is he the offensive coordinator for the Steelers? Because that's all that we do.
Well,
But
He'd be a lot better off if he was a tight end in that
tight
situation.
ends. That's a whole other thing. You guys do a tight end. That's
FAS.
the whole thing, yeah.
F. Arthur Smith.
That's
All right.
DJ Moore runs into. But yeah, go ahead.
All right. Kaizen said still waiting on C to pop off. And then Matthiasen said it's weekly. All right. So he said, July said, I asked the dude for CD and Jacobs for my Bijan and Emeka. Should I even go with the trade or sit tight? I think I still think that I would keep Bijan and Emeka, especially if it's dynasty, like you're set for a minute. Like,
why are we trying to trade away Bijan?
That was my question too. I was just, yep.
If you wanted CD, you could have drafted him.
Right.
Like, there's no reason that you wouldn't have. Yeah.
Not if you took Bijan.
But that's what I'm saying. But like at that spot, you would have had your choice of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep Bijan.
All right. Stephen Bertram in the chat. Do this trade ? Thins out my running back. Well, give us a little context there. Full point PPR with 2 flex.
Yes, do it.
I would be giving up Kyron and Olave for Lamb and Hurts.
Stop watching the show and hit the accept button.
Hold on. Roster is, let's look at context. Roster is Bo Nix.
We don't need
So
to
stop right there. There it
Nix
is.
to Hurts.
There it is. Yep.
Then you got Kyron, Hindi, Monty, Rashad White, Tracy, Charbonnet, Hampton.
Did you
So
watch that? Yeah, we're done.
Kyron is your best running back, or at least most consistent out of those. Wide receivers are JJ, Nico, Olave, Sutton, JMO. So the question is Lamb enough of an upgrade over Olave? Because you're probably going to go JJ, Lamb, and Nico in your flex. And then Hurts enough of an upgrade over Nix to essentially move your running back room to having to start Monty and Rashad White week to week.
Yes. So no, you're confusing the context here. First of all, you do this deal. Second of all, you're starting Henderson and you're starting Montgomery this week. Then if you have to, you'll start Montgomery and Rashad White. But you're getting Hampton back week 13. Come the playoffs, you have Jalen Hurts and CeeDee Lamb with Hampton and Monty. You'll be freaking fine with the rest of your wide receivers. Yes, do the deal.
Freaking fine.
You're replacing Nix with Hurts. That's about as far as you had to go because the rest of it's a wash. And like Dan just said, Hampton will help you absorb the Kyron hit. No, do it.
Well, there you go, Steve. Hopefully that helps. Dan laid it out on a platter for you. Matthiasen, you and the rest of the world, Miss Bucky.
I know Rashad White was my most drafted player this year.
Shut up. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. You have a bunch of sneakers in your backdrop. Who are you?
Top 50 in Scott Fishbowl. Whole piece.
Joe, what happens when Sean Tucker is the lead running back this week?
That's fine. I don't care.
Then you let everybody else go ape shiznit on the waiver wire for him, and you just hold on to Rashad White.
Matthias said, Dan, all you had to say was DJ Moore sucks. Vivo Mochito, should I give Gadsden and Olave for Collins and Shaheed?
Yes.
No, you should not.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah, I would go with no.
Olave.
Let's break this down. Joe, you were an immediate yes. Why do you do that deal?
All right, so Nico Collins is a top 12 wide receiver. He's had some bumps along the road. He's had some injuries.
Not this season.
Because he's had some injuries, but you know that he can be that guy, right? Gadsden is
35 right now.
Collins
I know he
is
can
better.
be 10 points a game this season.
Collins is better than Olave. Let's just get that right. Gadsden is somebody that you picked off the street a couple weeks ago, and then you're happy to have on your team. I doubt that he's been there for a while. Rashid Shaheed is quietly the wide receiver 25, and Sam Darnold has shown that he can actually maintain relevancy for 2 wide receivers. They don't know what they're doing because they continue to play Zach Charbonnet as much and in big situations over Ken Walker, even though Ken Walker is clearly the better running back. I do think that Shaheed is going to be a top 24 wide receiver going forward. So if I'm getting 2 elite wide receivers, if you're trading Gadsden, you obviously have another tight end piece on your bench or like in your starting lineup that you don't need him. So you're upgrading, and you're going to probably play Shaheed. You're not going to ever play Gadsden in your flex.
Rashid Shaheed is an elite wide receiver in your world.
I'm saying that he's a top 24 wide receiver in fantasy this year.
So you got to be careful using rankings. You got to be careful using rankings right now because, like, in the same vein, though Olave, everybody is afraid of Olave. Olave is a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy right now.
Yeah.
He is wide receiver 9. So you're giving wide receiver 9 and Gadsden, like, off of has already gotten to tight end 12, essentially off being a starter for like 4 weeks.
There are 5 receivers in the league that have had 4 catches in every game this season, and Rashid Shaheed is one of them.
That's great, but there's only one other person has seen as many targets this season as Chris Olave, and it's Jamar Chase.
But
They
he
are
also
tossing
has
the ball
Tyler
his
Shuck
direction.
throwing to him. You guys
I don't care who's
that's
throwing it
fine.
to him if they're throwing it to him that often.
I mean, hold on. Nico Collins, wide receiver 28. Rashid Shaheed's wide receiver 38.
Yes.
Chris Olave, and this is full point PPR, by the way. Chris Olave is wide receiver 17. And then when you add in Arondre Gadsden, like, we're assuming he has another tight end. We don't know that he does. Like,
Right.
We need more context on that. But Arondre Gadsden might be a top 5 tight end the rest of the way.
Is he dropping from Gadsden to Goddard? Yeah.
Unless suddenly the Houston Texans fire their offensive coordinator and got somebody who had a brain in there, I'm not on this deal.
Keep loving Gadsden. Opportunity. Fantasy football is a game of opportunity.
Trade Olave and
Who has
hope
more
for a
opportunity?
concussion. Do not hope for a concussion. These are real people.
Guys,
They
that is
have lives.
crazy work. You type that, you read it
Ouch.
back, and then you hit enter after. That is wild, bro.
That's awful. All right, Michael Rasheen in the chat. Full PPR. Hey guys, and we're down to like the last 3 to 4 minutes. So if you want to hit, your last question in, get it in now. We will try to speed through these things. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Also, if you notice down below the video, we have some tagged items from our merch, fsan.shop. We have a ton of fantasy football gear that is absolutely elite. Make sure you check it out, fsan.shop. But Michael Regine said full PPR, flex, Woody Marks, or Parker Washington. Hold on. Or Parker for tight end, Ertz or for flex, Woody or Parker. For tight end, Ertz or Barner. How you feeling, Chase? I see you nodding.
No, it's Washington and Ertz. Boom. Done.
How
Dan
do you
likes
feel?
AJ Barner.
I'm curious. How do you feel about Ertz with Mariota? Because he's had
feel
8
fine with
targets in all the games that
I know,
Mariota's
yeah.
played.
It doesn't matter. Dan, I know you like we kind of argued a little bit about AJ Barner the other night, but like I'm just not a Barner guy. I like Ertz over Barner based on skill.
What if his name was Town
and age? And I like old people, so I'm gonna go with Ertz because I'm old.
I will say this:
Parker Washington can't lose over Woody Marks, baby.
Ertz averaged more targets per game with Mariota at quarterback than he did with Jaden Daniels.
And it's a game of opportunity, as we just got done talking about.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Ertz. AJ Barner is completely variance as far as like his fantasy football production goes so far this season. I actually think this is going to be closer than people think between Parker Washington and Woody Marks because Houston shuts down wide receivers and Parker Washington is just a mediocre guy. Because it's full point PPR and BTJ's out, Jacoby Myers in his first week, Travis Hunter's gone. I probably lean Parker Washington for the floor. But see, here's what's hard for me. Nick Chubb's banged up. He's going to play, but he's banged up. Woody Marks catches the football. So this is a lot closer than I think people think, but I do lean slightly towards Parker Washington.
All right. We got a few questions popping in. We're going to try to roll through these quick. Dennis Clemens giving you a shout. Said, I think the same thing. Isn't Gadsden top 5 tight end rest of the season in a league where tight ends are getting scarce, or at least consistency at the tight end position is hard to find. Definitely been consistent. He said, honestly, you want good players on good teams from Matthias and get Shaheed. Trade away Olave for Shaheed and like 5 fab type trade.
Whoa. I love you, friend, but nope.
That's steep. All right, and then Jason Ortiz has given us an absolute beast of a question. I'm gonna try to get through this here. Okay, so I'll round this 2 people so we can roll through it quick. So start 3 must start. 1 must be a wide receiver. Wandell Robinson, Shakir, Tet. Already starting Rico, Vidal, Kamara. Where are you at, Joe?
Okay, I'm not starting Kamara. He shouldn't even be on rosters. The only thing that's keeping him on rosters is the fact that his name is Alvin Kamara. He has been certified buns this season. They don't throw him the ball. That offense is cheeks. Like, it is a hot mess, and you're holding on to him because he's Alvin Kamara, and you hope that he does something with it. The person that I feel most confident out of this whole group, Wandale Robinson.
Okay, so that's you got to start 3. 1 has to be a wide receiver, so you need 2 more.
So then I would pick Shakir next. I don't feel great about it, but Shakira, let's get it. And then if Tet is playing, I would play him over Vidal. Vidal's been very hit or miss. The Steelers have been great against the run the last couple of weeks, but I don't know what else. Like, I would look for something else in the waiver wire. I would probably drop Vidal or Kamara and try to find something.
Wow.
Matthias is so cheap. He said, I'll be here for my victory lap next week.
Matthias, remember who is on your side in this moment in history, okay?
Look,
Hit us up on Twitter, dude, if it happens.
So Dan, you were shaking your head. You believe Vidal over you want Vidal in your 3. So you want Wandale, Vidal, and then who?
Shakir. So I'm going to play him against Miami and with their nickel cornerback situation being absolutely pathetic. Tedero McMillan does not have a real quarterback. You can't play Tedero McMillan. He's in wide receiver 4 territory. He's averaging 35 yards per game with Bryce Young. It's awful. You can't play him.
Which is crazy because his catch radius is so absurd that you would think that, like, if Bryce could get it anywhere, yeah.
How bad he is. No, it's awful.
All right, guys.
And he's essentially the same player as Khalil Shakir then, but on a points per game basis, though. And I don't know. For me, it's Robinson, Tet, and Vidal. That's who I'm playing.
Yeah, you
All
like
right, so here we're gonna do like a 7-minute roll through these things. All right, so I'm gonna give each person in the room a question. You get to answer that question and nobody else, unless said other person just has a hardcore objection, at which then you can raise your hand frantically to get your input in. Otherwise, you're just gonna answer the question. All right. Yeah. All right, so Chase, since you're raising your hand first, should I drop Isaiah Davis and Ayuk for Nick Chubb, Tootin, Gainwell, Corum, Amari, or Rodriguez named captain this week? Maybe JCM is done. So should I drop Isaiah Davis and Ayuk for any of those people?
Honestly, I kind of came out earlier on my fieldings on Isaiah Davis. Yeah, I'm not holding Isaiah Davis for anything necessarily. Brandon Ayuk, nobody knows anything about what he can or will be anymore at this point. So yeah, I'm fine with dropping those guys for almost literally anybody on that list, pretty much. But if I have a choice, jump on Amari DeMarcado and jump on, I'm not thrilled about it, but jump on Rodriguez just in case JCM is done, because like you said, he did just get named captain and it's as good a shot as anybody else. So yeah, I'm fine dropping Davis and Ayuk.
All right, I don't see any waving hands, so we're on to the next question. Pow. All right, Dan, start 3. 2 must be wide receiver slots. So you got to go.
That one, didn't we?
No, this is different. Okay.
He just likes to call him Teta.
Very simple, though. Yeah, it's very similar.
Right. So Pittman, Waddle, Tet. He's already starting Rico. So
I'll stop you right here. Pittman, Waddle, and then Jalen Warren. Done.
Yep.
All right. No waving hands. Killing it. All right, Joe. Should I drop Mike Evans to pick up a quarterback for next week? Terry and Hampton in my IR spots. Which quarterback's best for next week between Dak, Geno, Rodgers, Mariota, Fields, and J.J. McCarthy?
The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this snizzitch for saying that Geno, Mariota, and Fields and McCarthy are even in the same stratosphere as Dak from a fantasy perspective. It's going to be Dak. If you're going to drop Mike Evans, I don't think that he plays again this year, so I'm fine with it. But there's probably someone else that you could drop on your team. But if that's the best option, you got to go with Dak there.
He did say he feels like Dak might be the best, but he had Javonte, and he didn't want to fight between hoping for passing touchdowns and
Don't
hoping for
overthink
running
it.
touchdowns.
Won't overthink it.
That's dimes, friend. That's not pennies. That's dimes.
All right, Chase.
That's Hamilton's, baby. That's
no, we already hit that one. All right, let's see here. I'm 7-2. Send Rico, White, Harrison for Jamar Chase, Hampton, and Woody. What do you think, Dan?
It's close. It is close. So, unfortunately, the reason why this trade becomes so weird is because Rico Dowdle became Adrian Peterson overnight. I don't know when it happened, but it did. So that's why it becomes. I would definitely rather have Jamar Chase of all the players that we incorporated here. So I'll give you the W.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Matthias, and we hit that one. Kaizen said, all right, DK and Jalen Warren for Javonte. My running backs are H.N., Judkins, Warren, Manungai, RJ Harvey, Amarion. I'm slinging these trades tonight. Hey, do it. Do it. It's trade deadline. Get a little freaky in the sheets. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I can say that on air.
What a weird thing to say. I'm appalled.
Well, you could probably only start 3 of those dudes.
Cancel him.
What Chase? What are we doing here? We trading DK and Jalen Warren for Javonte?
I don't know that you have to. I mean, Jalen Warren's been coming on. You're taking a hit to your wide receiver core at any rate. I don't know who your wide receivers are, but you're giving away DK. You've already got HN. You've already got Judkins. You've already got Warren. You've already got Manungai. You've got Hampton coming back. I don't think you need to make this unless
RJ Harvey.
Unless you're going to start 6 running backs in your starting lineup, I just don't think you need to do this. You've already got an entire.
If this news in Denver has any legs, RJ Harvey also might be the running back to own in Denver now with this injury to Doc.
Right, exactly. So I don't think you need to make this trade. No, you can slang trades, but slang them somewhere else and try and pick up some more wide receivers because you've already got an F ton of running backs.
Kaizen said, first time here, new sub. Appreciate the love, brother. He said the vibe is good. Some other channels either hella dry or live start to get weird. I don't know how they start to get weird.
We're weird. I don't know.
There's a difference between weird and inebriated.
Yeah, the I can only imagine what it starts to get weird looks like. There's on a live like that's weird.
I'm so appalled by that comment. Can you please tell me the shows that you're watching that get really weird so that I can avoid them?
So I can pick up pointers.
All right, look, Dan, give my guy some context here. He said, I have a good feeling about Parker Washington this week. Good matchup for him. Are you buying that take?
It's not a good matchup. I mean, it's good volume. It's good situationally because they have no one else to throw the ball to. But Houston Texans, they've allowed – it's not just that they've allowed the least amount of points to the wide receiver position. It's the fact that they have allowed single-digit points to the wide receiver position, especially the number 1 wide receiver target, no matter who that is. Yeah, Houston's been a real eraser. I'm not in love with this. It's only because he might get 5 catches for 23 yards, and it's the only reason why I even think about playing him in a full-point PPR league.
This will be his last viable game for the season, though. He was the most utilized player in the slot last week. Jacoby Myers is going to eventually be that game. They came out this week and said, hey, there's not enough time to get him acclimated to the playbook. It's easier to throw him on the outside this week. We'll keep Parker Washington there. So Parker Washington, this is like his last opportunity. I don't feel great about the matchup, but Parker Washington is not going to be as relevant on the outside as he would be in the slot.
Joe, let me throw this out to you. I don't think Parker Washington loses his slot position. I think Jacoby Myers is going to become the Z. And DJ becomes the X. It's not going to be an automatic switch. Like, Dami Brown does not deserve a role in this offense. So, barring any kind of ridiculousness like that, Parker Washington should remain the slot, and Jacoby Myers will be the Z the rest of the season when BTJ comes back. I don't think Travis Hunter is going to come back this year.
Or they trade him off, and either way, he still gets slot run. Even if they use Jacoby Myers in the slot at times or swap him out, it's Z and slot. Yeah, no, Parker Washington is going to have a role for the rest of the season. It's a bad week for him right now, but he's got a role. It has to
We
have a
shall
role.
see. The wide receiver room's getting thick over there in Jacksonville if everybody gets healthy.
I don't know if it's thick, but there's definitely guys
I
in the
mean,
room. You might have
you
trouble
look
finding
at
a seat.
it once freaking once Hunter gets back, you got BTJ, Hunter, and
I don't know if he gets back this season. That's a big question mark.
We'll see. Well, anyways, thank you guys. Look in chat. Dennis Clemens said, then Tyler got weird immediately after that.
Immediately.
Dennis
He's
is
in
paying
charge.
attention.
We can't even report this to HR. We don't even have HR.
He said, whoever runs the channel
Thanks.
going to have a Vince McMahon blowout for y'all going 10 minutes over. You know what? No, we're not, because I'll ruin this.
He's,
No,
yeah,
I
I was
can't
just
say
gonna
that.
say,
All right.
Corey's going to ground you, bro.
we got
I know,
HR and the CEO right here. So yeah, we're fine.
Fantasy. So he said the people that got weird fantasy headliners, they asked everyone to make football dong references on the live tonight. Just got out of hand. Yeah, that was definitely a ploy to fill the chat with some nonsense. Like they wanted the chat to be popping, and that's. Anyways,
the algos.
hey, look, it's Friday night. Appreciate you tuning in.
Kyle
Appreciate
Madong
you
guy
being
is
here.
crazy. That's crazy.
You know we're here every Friday night, 9 o'clock Central. We'll be here again week 11. We'll see you next week from the forum. Great crew. Check out Fantasy Football Advice Network. Lots of shows. Dan and Chase this week on Operation Domination, the #1 Fantasy Football Advice Network podcast. Make sure you check them out. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week.
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com.